Oh, you know what we forgot?
What?
How we were going to intro.
Oh.
Are we still doing that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. I'm Jenna.
And I'm Aurora.
And you're watching the
Macros and Muscles podcast.
Okay, so I got a little bit of an early birthday present. I got a subscription to the Lift Box,
Woo!
Which is like, it's like the FabFitFun, or like, what's the makeup one?
It's like
Ipsy or something.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's like a subscription box, but it's all like gym stuff. And I didn't exactly plan this, so I didn't bring the box and everything that was in it, but I brought a few of the things. And overall, I was very happy with what was in it. Like it had a full size Ghost hydration drink, and a t-shirt, and then a bunch of other snacks. So I figured we would taste it.
Yes, let's start tasting.
What do you want to start with? Let's start with the worst into the best.
Yeah, I was gonna say I want that.
All right, so this is sorry, Wicked Cuts, but this looks disgusting.
It's not it wouldn't be my go-to. Yeah. You know,
no, like I'll eat a turkey chomp.
I'll eat,
but like this is like,
it's thick.
It's got girth, and I don't know, sausage, egg, and cheese.
Well, usually
stick.
It's just like meat, you know. So
right, but okay, so it's gluten-free. It says no artificial ingredients. Did I say artificially?
I don't know.
Artificial ingredients, and then naturally hardwood smoked. Let's look at the macros. It's got 12 grams of protein, 120 calories, but 8 grams of fat, and only 1 carb. Sodium is 500.
It is a big
pretty
stick.
Hefty, but it is a big stick.
Yeah. So if it was like half the size and it was 500, I would be little.
Now, I really have no desire to eat this, but I figured we should try it.
We should try it.
So, no, I didn't bring a knife. So you just want to take the first bite?
I'll take the first bite.
Oh, that was a big bite. I'm taking it. What do you think? Does it taste like a sausage, egg, and cheese?
Yeah. It tastes more like mac and cheese, kind of.
Really?
The pork is not very... It's not like the flavor of like a Slim Jim meat, you know? It's not like that heavy, like, meat flavor.
All right. I hate to admit this, but it's actually good.
That was enjoyable.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be like a little bit repulsed for some reason, like with the egg and the cheese
vibe.
But
yeah, because I'm not like a Slim Jim kind of... But that does not taste... That is actually good.
It's very subtle.
I eat my words.
Yeah, that was good. Good job, Wicked Cuts.
Right? All right. Now we have fungies or fungies. I don't know. Fungies?
Fungies. Fungies.
It says lion's mane mushroom gummies may support memory, focus, and healthy mood. Sure. It says it's blueberry and strawberry, and it's 15 calories for 2 of them, 4 carbs, 3 sugars. And it's got 500 milligrams of lion's mane mushroom extract. So
mushrooms are good for us.
They are.
I'm excited to try these, and this is like the most thing I'm excited to try.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
I love gummies.
All right. Oh, so it looks like you got the blueberry, and I got the strawberry.
Ooh, good consistency so far.
I'm not a huge gummy person, but I like that it doesn't stick in your teeth.
Yeah, it wasn't like a hard chew to start. You just knew, so that was good.
All right. That was tasty.
Good gummy. 10 out of 10, you know.
All right. Which do you want to do next?
Caffeinated. That's my second favorite. I'm excited for it.
So this is the Verb Caffeinated Energy Bar in chocolate chip banana bread. And it says it's equivalent to 1 espresso shot.
Ooh.
Right?
That's exciting.
And it says 80 milligrams of caffeine from green tea. Awesome.
80.
So for this bar, it's 110 calories, 4.5 grams of fat, 16 carbs, and 3 grams of protein. So.
And it's banana bread flavor.
Yeah, what did it say? Chocolate chip banana bread. So grab that right there.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
That's really good.
It is really good.
I'm glad.
This legit tastes like banana bread.
I can see myself craving this and eating it again.
Like, it really tastes like banana bread.
And the consistency is good. Also, it reminds me of it looks like old Quest bars, maybe a
Mm,
little thinner, but it does not have that texture.
no. And it's very easy to chew, and it's not like
Not sticking to the teeth.
chewy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I never
Is there
even heard of
quinoa?
this before.
Is there quinoa on this?
Oh,
There's a little crunch. It's really good.
all right. I should probably finish chewing, but you're right. There is crisp quinoa. So it's oats, gluten-free oats, agave nectar, almond butter, brown sugar, crisp brown rice, cocoa nibs, molasses, crisp quinoa, bananas, and then the green tea, cinnamon, pink salt, organic ginger.
Oh,
Well,
nice.
everything's organic, but I didn't say organic every single time. So
That was
I
good.
just meant to have a bite of everything, but that was so good.
That was really
I
good.
had to have the whole thing, and I never even heard of Verb.
And I didn't think that
So
was
I'm
going
gonna
to
look
be
into that.
really good.
Mm.
And I also think quinoa is underrated in like dessert or like, you know, sweet things, because quinoa is always like a savory, like
Right.
in dinners.
Mm-hmm.
But I love to see the videos when they do like a chocolate chip quinoa bar. That
Oh yeah.
nice crunch.
So at work, it was funny. The chef made something kind of similar to what we used to do at Gold Food.
Mhm.
She did like a dark chocolate with like a date caramel in the
Nice.
middle,
Mhm.
but then she put puffed quinoa all over it.
Yeah.
So it was
Or even puffed rice,
right.
like Rice Krispies.
So it was ugly, but it was delicious, and you loved getting that like crunch on the outside.
yeah,
You know.
it's a dynamic bite.
Yeah. So I'm curious. I'm gonna look into that brand because I would love to see if they have one that's not caffeinated, or if their whole shtick is like everything's caffeinated. Because I'm always trying to keep my caffeine in check.
One espresso.
But that was
shot.
so yummy that.
Hmm.
So definitely gonna look into that company.
New York.
All right, what's next?
Let's go Misfits, or should we save it for last?
I want to save it for
Let's
last
save it-
because I'm really
I
excited
can
about that
second
one.
that. Yeah.
All right. So Alani bars. I have tried an Alani bar before and I hated it because I felt like, well, this feels soft. I thought it was like kind of hard to chew and the flavor just wasn't there and whatever, but it was a long time
This
ago.
one might be better if it's as pictured. But I think one of the big problems with Alani brand is that they're like food products, because I think all their supplements and drinks are good for the most part, but they look so pretty and
Mhm.
so exciting and inviting to eat.
Yes.
But I think when in the past we've had their protein bars not living up to like the expectation of what they are packaged like.
Right. So this Alani bar is in the munchies flavor. So that looks like it's got
The pretzel,
peanut, like I don't know,
caramel.
all kinds of things going on. So let's read the macros here. 210 calories, 9 grams of fat, 19 carbs, and 15 protein. So not terrible, really.
I mean,
not bad.
Pretty high protein for.
I mean, as long as a bar has at least 15 grams, I'll classify it as a protein bar. And the carbs aren't insane.
They're not like 27.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like 15 grams of protein, 64 carbs, and you're like,
ooh, but you see, yeah, it looks good.
mhm.
You know what I mean? It's got all that peanut on the outside. Do you want to just like break off a piece?
Perfect. Okay.
Ooh, I liked how that caramel just kind of.
Soft.
Right,
it does look as soft as it was pictured. So.
Okay. Already. So now I've got peanuts in my hair. It tastes like a protein bar.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I don't like
You know
about
what? The chocolate tastes too not like chocolate.
it. And it gets stuck in your teeth. It does. It gets stuck in your teeth. It's chewy. It's got like that one bar kind of.
I'd rather eat a piece of lettuce.
Yeah, not a fan. Let's try to see if I can erase that.
Yeah. I'd rather have a verb.
Definitely. But that's not a protein bar, though. That's the
Exactly.
You're
Energy
looking for
bar.
a protein bar. All right, so the Misfits. I've been hearing lots of stuff about them, and I've seen them, oddly enough, in airports. Shout out to Celsius.
Mhm.
So this says new and softer. So
Okay.
I like that. although I haven't had the old one to compare. And this is the butter
Cookie
flavor.
butter.
And it's a plant-based protein bar. So
Plant-based, okay.
let's see. All right. It's 190 calories, 7 grams of fat, 24 carbs, and 15 protein.
Okay,
So
15 protein.
Kind of similar, a little bit higher calorie than the Alani, but I wouldn't want to eat that. So, ooh, this looks like it's got crispy bits.
Wait, how many calories is that one?
This is 190.
This one's 210.
Oh, I completely got that wrong. So thank you.
That's
for
even lower,
clarifying
yeah.
that. So this is lower, but still 15 grams of protein. That's good.
Cookie butter looks good, kind of. Good softness so far. Flavor coming through for you?
I'm not detecting cookie butter.
I'm detecting like a cookie butter texture. Like that cookie dough. I'm like understanding that.
It's still chewy though. And don't worry, we're not wasting all this food. I brought baggies.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm not.
The stars of the show for me were definitely the Verb caffeinated bar,
Number
the mushroom
one.
gummies,
Mm-hmm.
and that,
And believe it or not,
and the pork sausage bar.
I can't believe that, but yeah, that's what it is. All right, taste testing done.
Mm-hmm.
Now on to our topic for the day.
Woo!
So,
our why topic or our coaching client topic?
Let's start with the why topic.
Okay.
So, you were kind of mentioning how, we should talk about why we are doing this.
And I thought of talking about why, to remind ourselves, but also to like get other people's brains who are listening to think about why they do certain things or what makes them feel a certain way or why they should take a certain action. So I thought if we talk about our whys, it could bring revelations to other people listening too.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. First, I'm going to check my teeth though. Block the camera. All right, that's as good as it's going to get. So I just didn't want to look back on this and see like chocolate
5
black teeth. All right.
Cute.
So why we decided to do this podcast?
Yeah. So I would love to set the scene for when you asked me.
Okay, go ahead.
And so we were at work and Jenna started to talk to me about something and she was like, I really want to talk to people and help people. And I want to start a podcast and I want to do it with someone. I don't want to just do it alone right now. Something to that effect. And I looked at her and was like, well, you're talking to the right person because I would love to do a podcast with you. And also like, I've had thoughts of doing that myself because I want to get my message out and see if it can relate to people and help people because I think that's like, our overarching thing that we want to learn from each other and help others and learn from other people too. And so when Jen asked and shared that with me, I was just like, oh my God, yes, I think we would be awesome at this. We would have fun doing it. And we love hearing back from other people and hearing other people's stories, which, and we started this podcast with also the intent of interviewing like people, business people, fitness people, the chiropractors, the nurses.
Exactly. We've had nurses, chiropractors, dietitians, and bodybuilders.
And it's so, it's so cool.
Other coaches.
Yeah, it's awesome because having that perspective, teaches people something that, we can't offer. And by bringing those people together, we're sharing information that otherwise would be untapped or unlocked by us not doing it. So it's really cool that we get to have this opportunity and experience with each other to grow and learn from other people, learn from ourselves and be able to look back on this. So
exactly.
And we should, we want to still be able to get our other people on here and have more guests and stuff and also be on other people's podcasts too and share what we have, found together.
Yeah.
But I'm really glad we are still doing this.
Me too.
Over a year later. And it was just so special when Jenna you know, she was talking about sharing with me, and I was like, oh my God, I want to do this too.
And I was so hesitant to ask you because I was like, you were like, you know, running a business virtually alone. So I was like, how is she going to have time? Oh, and you were bodybuilding
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, I think were you in prep when I asked you? I can't remember.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah. So I was like, how on earth is she going to, I don't know. But I was like, just ask,
Mm-hmm.
just ask.
And you get half of what you ask for, nothing of what you don't. I love that saying, because if you never ask, you're never going to know or find out.
Yeah, exactly. So here we are, and we're hoping that people enjoy watching and listening, and depending on what platform you're on. And yeah.
And some of our like whys, aside from why we do this podcast to help and grow and hear from people, is to it's because we have a passion for health and fitness. And I think we can both agree that when you improve the quality of your life, and by taking new habits, being consistent, you know, a lot of the things that we talk about in this podcast, like delayed gratification, not everything is immediate. I think, you know, being in business, being in the fitness and bodybuilding world, you get to experience those things on like a face-to-face basis, and not just, you know, hearing other people's testimonials. You have to lift that weight, and it seems so trivial or menial or whatever, like, oh yeah, just pick up the weight, or just put the food in your mouth, or don't put the food in your mouth. But there's so much more meaning and behind it, and whether you don't want to have the meaning or you do, doesn't, you know, matter. But the why is important, and I think it all comes down to like improving and progressing because I think we got to look about progression, not perfection, because if we can progress, that's the sign of goodness.
Yes, it's 1% better every day. 1% better. That's all we can. That's what we got to strive for. So the next topic we were going to talk about is not only, well, first it kind of evolved, because I was like, all right, what to look for in a coach? What makes a good coach? But also, what makes a good client? How do you know if you're ready for coaching? How do you know how to be a good client so that you can get the best results? So,
and that's, you know, also translates into your why, because when you have the right support, or support for your own self as well, that's going to help you propel forward to reaching whatever goals you have, especially working with a coach and you being the client. You need to be able to communicate and be real with yourself, be real with your coach. That way you can allow them to take you where you want to go.
Right. So if you're kind of new to the whole online coaching world, which is like $1 billion business now. Did you know that? That's insane.
And it's just going to keep growing.
Yes. So it's huge. And if you have, some people still don't have any idea or concept of like how that actually works. Of like you have a coach, but they're online and you never actually meet them in person.
And you're getting results.
Yeah. So it's pretty awesome, because you can work with a coach that maybe, 2,000 miles away, but still be able to work with them and reach your goals with them. So I think that's fantastic. But the biggest thing about coaching is that it's a partnership. And there's expectations for the coach and there's expectations for the client. And both need to be giving, just like in a relationship, you need to be giving.
So they need
100%.
Yeah, perfect.
Both people need to be giving 100% in order to get where we want to go, right? So just realizing that coaching is like having the GPS on in the car. You have a destination, it knows where you're starting from, and then you put in a destination and it gives you directions. That's the coach. But as a client, you're the one doing the driving. And you have to do that. You have to drive the car, because unless you drive the car, you're just going to be sitting there and the coach has given you the map and telling you where to go. But if you don't go and do it,
or even like if you're not driving, but you're in the back seat and there's your Uber driving, you can only get so far if somebody else is in the front seat of your own life, right?
Right.
And your own goals.
Yeah.
So we got to take action,
Yeah.
take
So
responsibility.
that's what, when it comes to being a good client, you have to be willing to do the work and understand that you don't just pay the money and get the plan and get results. It is a process, but it's actually the most efficient process, because think about it. If you didn't have a GPS and you had to make it to a destination, you could ask for directions and somebody might tell you, take a left, take a right, whatever. Or maybe you can look at a paper map
Yeah.
or something, or you can just kind of like head north and hope for the best, right? Those are not going to be the most efficient routes to getting there. Whereas having a coach is going to be the most efficient way, because they know what they're doing. And if you trust them and listen to what they have to say, you will get to where you want to go faster.
And it's also so important because it's one of those things where, like, good coaches are people who are experienced, and it is literally their role to help you reach your goals. And it reminds me of the situation where, like, as a person, you want to be able to have, well-rounded skills in your toolbox, but there's unicorns out there, but not every person knows how to do every single thing. You have to hire people to do your electricity or your air conditioning and your plumbing. And so you could learn little bits of all those things to help you out here and there. And that's what you have to do as a human, but you also have to give the reins to somebody else when that's not your,
area of expertise.
Exactly. Yeah. And so that's where coaches are so significant and so important, because they help you reach your goals, but they also aren't doing it for you. They're telling you how and giving you the framework and the guidelines, but you're the one in the driver's seat. So that's what's so empowering about the relationship between a client and a coach, especially when it's a healthy and, flourishing one. And I feel like, you as a coach and a client, you can learn so much from being in both of those roles.
Yeah.
So
you have to be coachable.
What does that mean?
That means that you are willing to take advice and direction and be open to it. Whereas sometimes when we're told what to do, our first instinct is, well, I tried that before and it didn't work. Or that's not going to work for me. I know that doesn't work for me. Or that sounds too easy. I would rather do XYZ.
Mm-hmm.
That's being uncoachable, So it's being open, realizing that we don't know it all.
No.
None of us know it all. And so we have to be open and willing to take the direction that a coach gives us and act on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And coaches can only do their best work. Like, you can have the best coach in the world, but if you're not being honest with them or giving them the right information, they can't give you, the best amount of help.
Right. Honest communication was the next thing that is so, so important.
So if you're frustrated with the coach or you're not reaching your goals, are you telling them, are you giving them all the information? Because they can only meet you so much,
right,
halfway,
Yeah. So you want to be honest with your coach. Do not hide things. Do not, just don't hide things, because they need to know all the information in order to help you the most. And if you can't be honest with your coach, then you might not be ready for coaching if you can't be honest with them. Or if you feel uncomfortable being honest with that particular coach, maybe that's not the right coach for you.
And also, we're not just talking about bodybuilding stage coaches. Jenna has been a lifestyle client for a long time. And so what are what can you hire a coach for?
Oh, yeah. So
not just stage, like that's,
that's a really important point.
Because that's what people are going to think when we talk
coach.
Okay. But like, even just like with learning how to be on, be consistent, like there's, accountability coaches or accountability friends. You can start there before you get a coach or something like that. But
so coaching can be just for getting healthier. I have some clients who, just need to, lower their cholesterol and get their blood pressure down because they want to get off medication and they just want to be healthier, fitter people. Then you have some people that might want to, need a coach for a weight loss journey. Or maybe someone hires a coach to actually build muscle or be better at their sport or hobby, whatever that activity may be. So there's so many different reasons to hire a coach, you're right, and not just for competition purposes.
And I think I don't know if you mentioned it on the podcast, but I know you told me a client that instead of saying, I want to lose 10 pounds, their goal was something else.
Yes, I know who you're thinking of.
Yeah.
It's because it just warmed my heart. Her goal was not explicitly weight loss. That was like lower on her list. Her main goal was to be able to play with her grandkids, be able to get up on and off the ground and, run around with them and just not feel limited, by her fitness level.
I can only imagine how big of a difference that makes because, of course, when you're doing the right form or you're, maybe eating some more high protein things to help you feel stronger and more energized, those simple little tweaks can do so much and go such a long way. And it's so important. And then weight loss as a side effect because you're, you hire a coach and you're listening and learning what the meaning of what their, directions are telling you. It's like, that's so cool that you can help somebody accomplish that.
Yeah. So, you know what? Maybe we should just talk a little bit about what coaching looks like. Just for people that might be unfamiliar with it altogether.
And I feel like it looks different for a lot of different coaches, right?
Right. But there's some general things that are in common. So the first thing that should happen when you reach out to a coach is they should be making an appointment to get on the phone with you for free. And I know some people charge consultation calls, and I understand why, because otherwise you're setting aside this time and then people are canceling and then, but for the most part, most coaches will get on the phone with you for free to have a consultation. And this is super important because this is going to be somebody that you're going to be, that's going to be seeing you with little clothing on in your check-in pictures, okay, which we'll get to in a minute, that you're going to be talking to about, your biomarkers, meaning like digestion, what's going on in the bathroom, what's going on in the bedroom. Like you're going to be talking to them about personal things. So you need to, first of all, find someone that you're comfortable with. And talking on the phone with someone is going to tell you a lot. You're going to quickly kind of get the vibe of whether you like this person and if you feel comfortable talking to this person.
Yeah.
So that's step number one.
And it's okay if you go through a few people and you learn that you don't, drive well, or, you're intimidated, or you're just not a right fit,
Exactly.
That's totally normal because there's a lot of people in this world. It's natural that you're not going to, mesh with every single one, and it's, not a bad thing.
Right.
You just got to find the right fit.
So yeah, I would highly recommend getting on a few phone calls first. Then let's say you decide on someone.
It's like dating, just kidding.
Yeah. So then what's going to happen is you're going to fill out they're going to have an intake process. And this is where, every coach is going to be different. So some of them might have an app, some of them might have a website, some of them might be sending you an email form, all different ways. They're going to have a bunch of questions for you that you're going to, fill out and give all your information. Then that coach is going to develop a plan, and then they're going to send it to you in some shape or form. And I think just about every coach out there is going to require progress pictures.
Yeah.
So I kind of alluded to that, in a couple minutes ago, but you're going to have to, take a progress photo and, front, side, back, and, wearing whatever you're comfortable in, usually a sports bra and shorts or something, whatever you're comfortable in.
And you'll be thankful later.
Yes.
And if you feel
it's uncomfortable,
any kind of uncomfortable, embarrassing, weird, and you're sending it to, everybody feels that way. That is struggling with that.
Everybody.
And you'll be thankful later on when you make your progress. And then 5 years from now, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I look like that. Look at me now.
Exactly. Yes. And they'll also ask you for measurements, and we'll be sending all that over.
And you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and it's never going to stop. There's always going to be another uncomfortable thing that you have to become comfortable with. Are you ever going to be really, really comfortable with something you're uncomfortable with? I don't know. It's up to
Right.
you.
Exactly. So then you're going to get your plan and you're going to start doing it.
Yeah.
Right. And if you have a really good coach, they should be asking you for form videos. And that means you're going to be in the gym having to record yourself and send those videos over for a critique.
And don't let me see you on Joey Swole's page.
Yeah. So Joey Swole is awesome.
Yes.
He's a bodybuilder and he is all about inclusivity and positivity in the gym and elevating I don't know, standards
Yes.
for all of us.
Calling out people that are being inappropriate or just not the right kind of culture at the gym, because the entire culture of the gym is going to make a difference to your workout.
Right.
And, you can only let it not bother you so much based on where you are in these videos. I can't believe that I see that people take in public. And so.
Right. So, I mean, he calls out people that record other people in the gym and then make fun of them on social media.
Yeah. Or record themselves being
gross,
inappropriate.
Lewd. Yeah.
Yes. Lewd and profane.
Yeah. So don't do any of that, but you can record yourself in the gym. Most gyms do allow this if you're, discreet and you're not getting anyone else in the shot. And if that's unavoidable sometimes because of where a machine is or the way the gym is set up, you can always ask that person, hey, I'm just taking a video to send to my coach. You're kind of in the background. Are you okay with this? Or, and, it depends on the gym. Most gyms these days are used to this.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like, it's kind of normal.
Everybody's doing it, Now, Planet Fitness, no, not everybody's doing it. But I do it when I'm in there.
Do you bring a tripod in?
No, I do not bring a tripod.
Do you see
not
other
into
people
Planet
do that?
Fitness, not in Planet Fitness. In Revival, yes.
Because
so if you're in a bodybuilding gym, you're going to see tripods and lighting.
Yes.
Not just like, I just prop my phone on my water bottle, take a quick little video in the corner.
And it's like, it's not even like I am like embarrassed of like bringing my tripod. It's just like, I feel like setting it up and then I got to move it because it's kind of like big. And so I'll just use my water bottle or whatever. And
yeah. So everybody's doing it and you need to get comfortable with it and realize that, see, a lot of people, especially beginners, well, not beginners, people that have been lifting for a little while, kind of feel like they know what they're doing and they don't see why they need to send in a form video. But it's not just about form, and it's also about intensity. It's about technique. There's so much that goes into it. And it was funny. I saw on Instagram this morning, the hypertrophy coach was training Sebum.
Okay.
And giving him form feedback on his tricep exercises. And somebody in the comments was like, that's like telling Michael Jordan how to shoot a basket or something. And then he was like, yeah, you're right. Michael Jordan went from the womb to the NBA and never had a coach. He just knew what he was doing.
Exactly.
No coaching involved. It's just ridiculous. Listen, everybody needs help with their form, intensity, technique, all these things in the gym. Arnold himself worked with people.
I love the ballet thing that I learned about Arnold, because when you're big, bulky, and bodybuilder and everything, and you're big, strong, you might not be trained in grace and posing, because obviously, and you're on the bodybuilding stage, that's a huge component of your scoring and everything.
So he took ballet.
Lessons to be more, in flow
Fluid.
and in motion.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
and it also reminds me, did you see the 17-year-old that lifted 755 pounds?
I did not.
Chest press.
Whoa.
Yeah. 17 years old.
That's insane.
Yeah. I'll show you the video after.
So all that to say, everybody needs a coach and everybody needs, help in the gym because nobody is perfect. I don't care how long you have been doing something. Even if it's on a machine, you might think it's so simple. Well, I just move my legs like this. And
I know it's so hard to believe, and sometimes I roll my eyes too, but even personal trainers started at the same level you did. So no matter what your goals are, to be a bodybuilder stage or just be a little good at fitness, you can get there. Right. And there's no one stopping you except you.
Exactly. All right. So moving on, we've gone through that whole coaching process and what that looks like. Then you have a check-in process. Most coaches have a weekly check-in, and some do a bi-weekly, but for the most part, it's a week or every other week.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to, they'll have their own process, whether it's an app, a website, an email, whatever, to send in your information. And then they give you feedback.
Mm-hmm.
And
how long are you typically with a coach for? Depending on your goals, I know it's different. But
yeah, totally depends on your
I would
goals.
say like 3 months is a good
minimum.
Is a minimum.
Yeah.
But like, if that's something you want to try, I would say like at
Honestly,
least
6 months
at
to a
least
year.
Yeah.
You know, because even if you have a small goal, even if you're not that far off and you just need help, you know, let's say it's just like losing 20 pounds or something, okay, and gaining some muscle, that shouldn't, well, I shouldn't say shouldn't, that may not take you a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's really important to, you know, kind of buckle in and kind of be long-term with your coach, because you can lose that weight, but learning maintenance so that you keep it off is something that you need to work with a coach with, because that's the number one place where people run into trouble.
Well,
is they hire a coach, they get the results, and then they're like, I'm good, see you later. And then they gain the weight back.
And that's why people are like frustrated with like coaches or like diets or like fitness or fads or whatever in their eyes, because they're like, oh, well, I get with the coach and I reach my goal, but then I, you know, after I'm done with that, I gain it all back, or I go the other way or gain more. And it's like, well, of course, yeah, because you did what you were supposed to do. Taking on a few different habits or changing up a few things for a set period of time, somebody can do that because they know it's a set period of time. But to maintain that,
right,
is you got to go. And I feel like I'm kind of, well, I let myself be like that, but I'm kind of experiencing like I did something for a certain period of time and then I didn't continue and maintain that. And so that doesn't mean I'm going to stop here or anything, but I got to keep going.
Right. Yeah. So because reversing, which means, you know, going from your deficit or diet phase, right, until you get to maintenance, is a very difficult thing to do. Even for, and I'm not even talking about competition reversing. I'm talking normal, about just a regular lifestyle person that just went on a diet. Coming out of that is hard. Okay. And you need help to get through that phase. And then getting to maintenance, understanding what your new maintenance calories are and how to live in a way that you can maintain that weight loss. Now, I think it's important for people to understand that diets should be temporary. Dieting is not a lifestyle. You should not be on a diet forever. But there are certain habits that you're going to develop throughout this process that are going to become part of your lifestyle, that need to be part of your lifestyle if you're going to maintain your results. Your maintenance calories are a whole nother story, but the habits of, you know, of getting your steps and drinking your water and sleep and, you know, still making sure you're eating plenty of protein and having your fruits and veggies, like all these things you're going to have to do forever, even when your calories are higher in maintenance. So that's that.
It's a lot, but it's nothing you can't do. And we all need a little help from our friends or a coach sometimes.
Yes, exactly.
Or
and
both, if you're
don't
lucky.
be afraid to cancel your coach if it's not working out and you feel like someone else might be a better fit. I've been through that. You know, I worked with a coach that I tried for a while before I found Lexi, and he's an excellent coach. Like, I still follow him and talk to him online. Because he also offers training and different things and classes. But he wasn't a good fit for me. It didn't mean that he was a bad coach. He's an excellent coach. And it just wasn't for me.
It also makes room for that coach to have a fitting client. And then also coaching is a job, right? But the point about it is that the job of the coach is to help you reach your goals.
Yeah.
So it's not like, you know, to just look at your information and go, it's like, no, they are invested in you getting there. You know?
Yeah. So if you're not super excited about checking in with your coach, and maybe it's your own, maybe you feel that way not because of them, but because you haven't been adherent, because you haven't executed your plan. Maybe that's why you're hesitant to check in. But think about that for a second. If you're not super excited to check in with your coach, that can it's either a them problem or a you problem. But either way, like, you have to make a decision there. So if it's because you're uncomfortable with them or you're afraid of what they're going to say, like, oh my gosh, I found a new girl on YouTube who was prepping for her first bikini show, and I just loved her voice and the stuff that she shared. So I just started following her journey and like thought it was so awesome. But she was, and I'm not going to say who she is only because I'm about to talk bleep about her coach.
Oh,
So she was mentioning things that were happening. She did have a slip up on her prep, and her coach,
which is normal, right?
well, no. I mean,
what kind of slip up?
Prep has got to be 100%.
Yeah.
There's really no room for, like, oh, I ate a tray of cookies.
Yeah. Well,
yes. You know what I mean? And if that happens, you do need to talk to your coach because there's an issue that needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But anyway, she did have
a slip up.
She had a slip up. And what I got so upset about was that she said that her coach like ripped her a new one and like dropped her calories as like punishment. And she gave her macros on the YouTube video, and I was absolutely appalled. I have never heard, I don't care.
So was it just
how
to,
deep
like,
in prep? I have never heard of someone's calories being that low.
But like, it sounds like they changed the calories.
Well, they were already low.
Just for punishment, not even for like
right.
reaching goal purposes.
And it's kind of the thing where it was like, your coach should never yell at you, is my point. Should never be mad at you. Like, the coach actually said, concerned. Well, but even that, it's like, there's got to be some detachment there.
Yeah.
You shouldn't your coach shouldn't be like, well, I'm disappointed in you. That's just, how is that helpful?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like in the sense of like coming from, they want you to reach your potential, not because like, they shouldn't be mad, like,
right,
mad because
it's not something she did to her.
No, of course. And if anything,
she screwed herself.
Yeah,
in a way,
exactly. The coach isn't the one competing,
right? Anyway, there's got to be some compassion there, people.
Definitely,
even in prep.
Yeah, and it's like you like you said, there's no room for eating a tray of cookies, but what good does what that coach did? So my point is, if you feel like you need to hide something from your coach, or you fear telling them that you completely went off the rails or something, and it's because you're going to get that kind of reaction, you definitely need to switch coaching. Yeah. Switch coaches. That's not good. A coach should not make you feel that way. A safe space, and everyone should be like mature enough to be honest and approach it either way. But on the other hand, if you have a great coach and they're not going to do that to you, but you feel uncomfortable, being open and honest about what, because you went off plan. I understand that. Yeah. But I will encourage you, even though you feel that way, to be honest with your coach and tell them, because that's what they're there for. They can only do so much to help you with the information from you. Exactly. And if you just kind of try to hide that and ignore it, it's going to continue. And you're also ignoring it. You're not being like, you did it yourself, but you're not being honest with yourself in the sense of what you're trying to achieve your goals for, and like why you hired a coach to begin with. Exactly. You didn't hire a coach to eat cookies in the closet. Exactly. And if you keep trying to, if you keep going off plan and then trying to overcompensate for it, why are you even with a coach at that point, right? Because you're not giving them the information to help you, and you're just shooting yourself in the foot. You can't just, eat the tray of cookies and then
go do a bunch of extra cardio and then just perpetuate that on and on. That's just not where you want to be. So tell your coach what is happening
And you got to be real
so
with
that your
yourself.
coach can help you.
Yes. We're all
So-
here to help.
Yeah. So with that, we'll talk to you later.
Have a great day.